so everybody can understand a bit. Okay, so yeah, currently I'm working in IIT Genova, and Genova is very famous for Christopher Columbus. So you see the Christopher Columbus house, and he started to discover the America. This is very good. If you come Genova, you can to see the house. It's not good, of course, in a good condition. It's a very old house, but still they keep it like that. And we are very famous dish from Genova is a pesto. It's similar like in our we have in India dhania and pudina chutney. So similar like the pesto they make the meat and other. So okay, so my topic is in the nano world of 2D materials. So let's see what is a nano. Okay. So for example, most of you know like we have this we go for some kind of measurement or something. So we have centimeter, meter, micrometer, scale. So nano is the one kind of unit of measurement. So it's nano and it's 10 to the power 9 order. So for example, how you understand what is the nano? So here you can see one example, right? So for example, you are the Earth and you are seeing one telescope. So you can see it's one nano for you. So the example. And then we have the different kind of like areas, the classification. For example, the water area, right? It's very big. So the centimeter scale, you can say. Also, you have a full stop. You put a pen, paper. It's like in the 1 millimeter. Another example is human hair. If you have one human hair, size is like 100. Then we have virus in the size of the 1 micrometer. So recently, like in the past 2 3 years, like we suffered a lot with the coronavirus. And the problem was we cannot see by human eyes, so you cannot see from the virus. Why? Sight, 1 micrometer, you cannot see by eye. See here, 100 micrometer, then we can see one here, but virus you cannot see. Okay, so they have a different scale with a different materials. So this is a common like a point centimeter scale. Okay, so this is the temperature of the. So when you see, very tiny thing, for example here, say the earth and things. Okay, so nano, it's not completed without this guy, Richard Henry. Okay, so in 1959, the American Physical Society he gave a lecture, and in the entire lecture there was one theme, or we can say one bullet point. He said, "There's plenty of room at the in that time to understand what is the meaning of this." Okay, and although you see he got good right in the quantum economics and thing related to the nano. So this word was like kind of course some of the researcher or physicists that time they understand what he want to say. So for example, we have a code, right? Like everybody like code and especially in India. So we have this world code, right? We have a very 1 kg, 2 kg code, and linear or something. Right? No. So this is the bulk code, right? And when you shine the light in the bulk code, it will not absorb. It will reflect. So it's very good reflector, light reflector. Okay. So and if you see the dimension, the centimeter and the millimeter, what happened if you go this gold or the M anytime? Okay. See now the color from yellow to what color check. So when it comes from the centimeter or millimeter, nanometer, the gold check. And here shine the light, what absorb the light? Now this can absorb the light. Light absorb. So what do you want to say? You have plenty of room. When you go to the bottom, when you come to the narrow scale, you have a different property of your materials. So from no absorption, now they can absorb the light. Also, when you change, like for example, 50 nanometer, 100 nanometer, you see the color will change. So different side, different absorption, different optical from one to the. So this is the meaning of this bullet point. Then after this, so this started at 1959. In 1974, the Nario Taniguchi, he can deposit a thin film at narrow scale, very tiny film. Okay. Then this book came, although he was not a physicist, he was like some computer guy, but accidentally we can say he also published one book, this one, and it's like the coming era of nanotechnology. this physics or something, but this more chemistry, although he had also like some kind of actually this nano. Then in 1986, an idea came. Both professor they have some kind of machine which can image this nano scale particles in nano scale. You see, very nicely and they got Nobel Prize for the discovery of scanning galvanic electron microscope. So after that, so after 1986, now we have a new field of physics, the kind of known as the nanophysics, you can say, or whatever. Now nano is everywhere, or any area of physics of chemistry or biology. Everywhere we study now mostly things because we have different properties. Okay. Now see the what is the nano, and now what is the nanomaterials. Right? So for example, if you have work materials, what is the materials? It's like physical composition of the atom. Okay? Plastic, glass, anything can be. This is the work materials. Okay? What happens if you go to the nano level? Right? So for example, this is centimeter or millimeters. So now and never. So here, for the good example, what of you use in daily classes, the pencil removing some temporary writing. So here, this is, for example, pencil contains graphite. Now, time that large. So, and this pencil is like it's like a you see the structure is working, and this graphite, like you see the structure. This is important in this. Now, so you can, for example, you have the big grade, then cut, slice, cut down in a very small, tiny way. So, this is what it's happening. You have one graphite, and one graphite you have both, right? Height and height. All three dimensions you have. When you start different, see, we have very tiny or small sheet of this graphite or material scale. We have thickness is like 0.3 nanometer. So, we have the nanoscale. So, anyway, somehow when you get your bulk material from centimeter to millimeter to the nanometer scale, that is with the nanometer. Basically, materials at a nano scale with the nanometers. Okay, I know the like if you say generally we define like 1 to 100 nanometers. How we will say micro materials or one to kind. So this is a general definition of the materials society. So we can see how we can about so now this is the classification of the materials. So you have this like two-dimensional, one-dimensional. Later I will explain you what is two-dimensional, one-dimensional, dimensional, three-dimensional. 3D is a basically one. Okay, then you also combine this one like 0D, one D, with 3D. So different hybrid you can make it. And of course the different materials they have different support and they have different application. Example, and the light idea. So, for example, if you go in a picture, so you will see like mostly we not have one, but there is this light sensor. So when you enter inside, if you stop if you want to sensor will stop the light, so it will be says okay, the person. You cross this line, this state, you know how they have this like sensing the destruction or the example of destruction. So now, okay, so classification of this materials we can see. So as I mentioned, graphite is important. Okay, so for example, pencil you have to let's say it's like a thicker is graphite. Then we cut the slice. Then we have one layer which is known as 2D. This is the 3D materials. This is two-dimensional materials. Okay. Now when you roll down, okay, then it becomes the like a one dimension. So we see only one dimension, like a pipe. Okay, hollow pipe. And one of the good example is like carbon nanotube. Also, we use in the tube, right? To put the water to get the water from each other. Yes, so that is like a structure seal. It is okay. Okay. One pipe. Okay. Then we have this. When you wrap this one layer of graphite, then you become a ball. And also this we can say zero gravity. How there is no balance. Tiny. This is like a kind of a stone. Tiny dot. So you can see from one material you can make it different kind of like the material dimension, like 1D, and then we combine also the 0D, 1D, 0D, 0D, 3D, like this structure. And for the basic, if you want to study about the more basic, so we have this book, and the chapter 4, I have written this chapter, and where we have put all this basic information about the nanomaterials, what is the sizes and how to make it, and for the fundamental you can refer this one. I can also provide you the soft copy if you want. So this is we see the dimension of these materials. Okay, when you go to the nano level. Now the question is, so we can see here now we have different nanomaterial 0D, 1D, 2D, 3D. So this nano rock, like the quantum dot, and other things. So the question you will ask me, so why are we interested in different dimension of materials? Why we need? We already have bulk and other things. So why you are going 0D, 1D, and 2D, 3D? Why you complicating your life, right? For example, if you see here gold nanoparticle, gold nanorod, gold sphere, gold seed, so different materials we have at nano scale. Okay. So now I will take you in the class 12 basic like the semiconductor. I hope you have in this topics, I think. So here this is the energy band. Okay. For insulator, semiconductor, and other. Metals are so you see band structure. We have this band, some band, gap between the bands. So this insulator gap is very high. That's why it's not participating in the conduction, or we cannot make any devices based on insulator. Then we have semiconductor. Then we have a small tiny gap. And in the then we have the metal, where there is no gap. Both conduction and harassment both are merged each other. Okay. This is the general structure of this energy by diagram. Okay. So when you go from the bulk to the different dimensions like 2D, 1D, or 0D, if you see basically the structure of this band structure of the material. So band structure of this material, also the how the electrons move from arrangement, it will change. So when you change the dimension, so feeling of this, so basically the band structure of the material, it will be changed. This is the how the situation changing by changing this. So, for example, we have a purified some devices or something, and probably they go to the thicker say or the criteria, right? Bad structure, and second has position also feeling nature. Okay, so and what is the so what we say is that this is confined all energy distribution in the so the passive okay and finite of you various things so that was so it is advantage various things so this is one of the key things too much from quantum is more and one of the beauty of this thing, we have the different rod, different size, different materials, different different light, different light. And one of the beauty shine only one light. And different like the size of this quantum rods, different materials. Light is the like the capability. Why? And also you can relax this quantum from large scale data. And once you have, if I can make the quantum dot is on the market, Samsung already got it, right? But these are very nice. These are color division, so what? Why? It's this quantum dot. So that's why the discovery opened a new window for many applications. The solar cell display, also in the biomedical, in chemistry. So this is one example to see how this nanomaterials work. So I define all these nanomaterials. They need to be only why this is important. Okay, so before materials, why is it important? So let's have a zero example. So we have summertime and all the also like some media. And if you're using your cell phone, Snapchat, very cell phone. If you go around and it can the case of the problem, why you are all the same characters. All the sensors or digital any sector of components, all are mostly made of silicon. So maybe you ask what happened if you have the silicon based devices and how you know the effect of this temperature in the silicon. So for example, I have this silicon. So what I have done, I took the piece of silicon in our lab and then I clean room and I put two electrode on the silicon, the p type silicon. And then I measured the current of this device. Okay, at 25 degrees Celsius, temperature, and I'm checking the voltage, and I see a very nice socket. The difference between the silicon and this gold metal, and the current in the milliampere range. Very nice for that device. Okay, so this is the 25 degrees. Then I started to hit on the hot plate. So I hit it 100, 180. What I saw, you see, the current you have in the milliampere range, now it's came in the micro. So what, like the one order is like decrease. Then I plot the current surface temperature. You see, when you increase the temperature, the current is drastically changed. Basically, the current is changed. That means you increase the resistance of your device. Okay, so this is the reason when you increase the resistance, you also producing some heat inside your semiconductor. That's why the device start to create some problem, hanging or something. So the key is in the semiconductor, the semiconductor. Okay, so they say most of the whole world, also in India, we have now this national quantum mission. And the national quantum mission had like the more focus on creating new materials. Okay, and it's like the project is a 603,000 crores. It's a huge one. Okay, and you will surprise, we have spent more money in semiconductors than buying the food. You will surprise. So we are spending lots of money to buy the semiconductor from the different countries. So one of the like mission to we should have the self-dependent on this semiconductors and one country not dependent on any other country. So this is the purpose of this mission. And so there are many companies coming in India, also the government of India trying to make the chips and other devices based on the different materials. So still mostly they have a silicon. Okay. 90% still all the things are the silicon, but everything has the limit. For example, silicon, as I mentioned, we increase the temperature, the device sensitivity degree. So it's not much more I say like kind of like ideal condition to use this one. For 25, 35 degrees is okay, but when you go 45, 50 or 100 degrees Celsius, other materials are silicon. So now I'm going to watch the materials. Use of PVC right? How this material is covered and how is the dispute. So okay, so one of the for example, like the nano technology, the researcher was interested on this scale. Can we make thin graphite? For example, this is one. Can we go to the one layer of this graphite? And you know, the 1947 this paper came and they said it had very nice fixing this the one the graphite and the conductivity they proposed like it would lower level. Sharp eye of this material and make the thinner this graphite. So it came started this like make this tiny graphite by using this so kind of like technique this graphite and then using this cantilever area. And it's huge expensive. Graphite don't use it. You have to took the graphite from this fencing and then you make this thinner. They could reach 10 to 100 nanometer and they are very nice connectivity or areas of this graphite. Then they came, so this was in the 2005, this paper is published. In 2004, they also came, they could reach up to 0.5 nanometer of this graphite, less than 1 nanometer. And everybody was surprised. I mean, they could go up to less than 1 nanometer. You know? And this was up to, they were 10 to 100 nanometer. They could reach 1 nanometer, less than 1 nanometer. The technique, everybody was surprised. When he heard, he also surprised. The technique was is normal viscosity. And you know, and the reason behind, because this graphite, if you see that in the bulk, they have all the layer are connected with van der Waals forces. And van der Waals forces are very deep forces. Somehow, also he don't know, but it was like a random idea. When some people ask how you achieve, then he says a random idea. So I took this graphite and this sellotape and just like it was like this, okay, one layer. And you cannot go below than one layer. So this material is later is known as the graphene, and this is still world thinnest material. And after discovering this material, both recorded by in physics in year of 2010. So you see how this nanotechnology given so many Nobel Prize from the quantum dots. Now it's nanotechnology. So what is the interesting things in this like the one layer of graphite, graphene, like surprising everybody and he got Nobel Prize. So the paper which came forth. So what they say, they can reach the mobility of these materials up to 15,000 and also the density at room temperature to over 30. So if you compare this, so as I mentioned, the silicon is the silicon material. So if you see, compared to the silicon, graphene has what is the reason behind this? Graphene is the higher mobility. If the electron on a hole, it will be nice to be basically the graphene, what the electrons, must be access the graphene, that is the silicon with the interaction with the electrons, that is here. It's like a master charge. After that, new like industrial application, like people thought, okay, now we can replace this silicon or germanium with this graphene, got high mobility, so electron is very fast. Now this the digital structure also producing less mobility, and also it can like conduct at high temperature. Like later, see, what do you have this one? Now, for example, if you say graphene is harder than time, and only 100 times harder than this thing. So then think, okay, it's very hard. So why we cannot make some kind of like the application in the our defense and others? In the defense, you know, mostly the soldiers wear the bulletproof jacket made of the steel. So now after discovery of graphene, Professor Sanjay Kami, he first time in India he proposed graphene based bulletproof jacket. Now our the soldier we have this defense graphene based bulletproof jacket. Why? So can very easily, you know, can spray. It's also very light. Very light. So the conventional jacket that like down 7 to 20 kg, but now we have 1.5 kg jacket. Very light. And also it can absorb all kind of light. Graphene can absorb all kind of light. Deep UV, IR. So if you make the device based on graphene, then problem is solved. See, as I mentioned, one problem was cramping. Nothing electric. So basically, you cannot make transition. Transition is a device which can control the current. This band gap, this is the problem. Realize it. Although it has a nice property, all the other property like the optical absorption, mobility, but somehow this technique, also the discovery of this graphene, research. Now we have idea of predictors. So we have nice graphene chemistry, graphene oxide, also HBl, graphene. So you can also make graphene oxide, this graphene oxide with different this graphene, all your hydrogen. Then we have semiconductors, zirconite, most, we have the all the don't have the reading, all the transistor, also the oxide. Also, you can combine this graphene with the most graphene. So basically, you can create this underwater chemical structure by combining this all different materials. Graphene most graphene. And when you combine with this all different materials, they have different properties and different application. So, after discovery of graphene, basically, this 2D materials is a very started. So, this is how we see the evaluation of this technology from 0D now 2D materials. this is now future technology based on this 2D materials based research. So now the government of India, they are spending lots of money in this 2D materials research, and not in government of India, all over the world, to have the future different like the application, like the light sensor device, and also the detectors and the quantum technology. So the future maybe also in the cell phone. In the future maybe we have the based on the 2D materials. So when you going some higher temperature region, the cell phone can work without creating the heat of things. So I think I have time. I almost Dr. Dutta, I have time or
Yeah, you can continue.
I continue, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
I then I will take the question. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So how we make these devices? How we make these tiny devices, nano devices, by using these materials? I will show you some of the examples. So, for example, here we have graphene. This is one layer of graphene, and this is the bulk. Not bulk, sorry. This is the large, of course, the teeny, but in the large scale, the millimeter or centimeter scale. So when you have this millimeter or centimeter scale, you can simply make the devices based on graphene. Just put this shadow mask, like for example TM grid. Also, you can put some, because we need the masking to take the put the electrode like source and drain for the transistor or other devices. So, for example, here I put this TM grid on the graphene. Then I put some sticky tape to stick this TM grid on this graphene, and then we evaporate this metals, gold or silver, on this graphene. Make this device source, and this is drain. And you can see in the optical picture, you see by doing this TM grids, very nice. Like even though in a very small area, you can create around 200 devices. A small area, 200 devices. Okay. Then also you can put the different like this mask, and you can create different structure of these devices. Okay, but this is the kind of like millimeter or centimeter scale. It's very easy to make it. It's not a problem. But when you go to the nano scale devices, very small area, then you need this nano fabrication. Okay? So you heard like some of the news like NVIDIA or something, they claim the source and drain distance, they can make it 2 nanometer or 3 nanometer distance. Here is a micrometer or centimeter, but they claim they can go 2 nanometer or 3 nanometer. So basically, even in a small area, they can have a large number of transistor or other devices to make it small. So basically, if you go in the future, you will see you have a very tiny this microprocessor. In the computer, we use a big box, right? CPU. In the future, you will have very small CPU. Why? Because all these electronic components, transistor, capacitor, or resistor, we can go very small, very less than 1000 nanometer is our here. We can go very less. Okay? To make these small devices, you need the nanofabrication, and that we also known as the lithography. Okay, so in the lithography we have two types. One is the UV lithography, where we use the UV lamp, and another is the electron beam lithography. Then the electron beam. So the limitation of this UV lithography, you can minimum you can go 1000 nanometer, 1000. But EV you can go 2 or 3 nanometer. So here you can see, for example, we have MOS2, exfoliate by state, and you put on the substrate. So this is one single layer MOS2. This is the quality layer. So using this UV lithography, you can actually put the very small tiny devices you can make here. So this is the one transistor where we have this 1000 nanometer scale, and then this is the optical picture when you go and see the deeper. So you need a scanning electron microscopy SEM image where you can see this is the gold pack. Then we have different, like for example, WS2, tungsten semiconductor, and you see how this structure is a triangle shape. Okay? So this nano fabrication will give you the to go and put this electrode because you need contact, right? Either the current or next transistor or any devices. So you need contact. So why with the CPU has a bigger like the size because of contact. The transistor and the resistor you have a larger area compared to when you go nano fabrication you can do the very small. So this is the we can okay. Then this is the other semiconductors like chromium, sulfur, bromide. You see, this is the raw, like kind of simply the rod like structure. So you see, this is the device one. This is the gold pad. This is gold pad. This is source and drain frequency also. One device, two device, three devices. So with a small area, you can put these TV devices. You can have a very small transistor compared to the okay, and you see, this is a very small like chip. We have like 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. You can create multiple devices. So now here is the nano region. So see how this nanotechnology, Richard Feynman gave the definition, then scientists start thinking, okay, what is the meaning? There we have material 0D, 1D, 2D, 3D, different materials, different property, and also different techniques to make the device. So we have to see how the simultaneously all this technology works. Materials, characterization, devices, all working together. So that's why in our research group you will see some of the material scientists who make the materials, some of the device, make the devices, and some of the do the some characterization, TM or SCM or gamma. So this is how the science is working. Okay. So this is the device, how we make the devices. Now, one of the examples is light sensing devices. It is also known as the photodetector. Okay, as I mentioned, when you go in the lake, you have the light sensor. When you go in between, the light sensor stops. Side you will go the indicator, then light again starts to projector. So this is a light sensing device. Also, you will see one example in the television. You have on air conditioner. When you go now home, just notice you have a like one white kind of like bulb on the dome of the this was detected. So when you shine the light, so infrared light will go. It's connected with your TV and then this is also detected. But it's emit the infrared light, that's why you cannot see by eye. So one of the good example is a light sensing device or photodetector. So what is a photodetector? It's a sensor of light. You shine the light in semiconductor materials, electrons will generate, and by applying the voltage, you can separate, and then you will see some current in your devices. This is how the commercial photodetector works. For example, if you see the Forlane website, this is the one silicon-based photodetector. So, as I mentioned, if you make the graphene-based photodetector, as I mentioned, graphene can absorb all kind of light. Silicon absorb only from 350 nanometer, but graphene can absorb all light, UV, IR, anything. And when you measure, the responsibility of the one key parameter, which is defined by the current per unit power, light power. Okay, and one the important parameters of this photodetector. If you have a high responsibility, you have better photodetector. So silicon responsibility in ampere per watt, like 1 ampere per watt. When you make graphene-based photodetector, our responsibility is milliampere per watt. So again, the problem, okay. So the Nobel Prize is given for this graphene has lots of applications, but if you compare to photodetector, of course, it absorbs all kind of light, but the responsibility very less. The reason behind this, why? When you shine the light, graphene, it generates the electron and hole here, but it's recombined like it's such a small time, the femtosecond. So even if we apply the voltage, it cannot separate the camera. That's why the graphene based have been less. The quantum efficiency, the conversion of light into the electricity, very less in graphene. But you can combine this graphene with the silicon. And now see, we can combine with each other.
No, no, for the
That's why we see very nice, very small devices on and off. Also, you can manipulate. You can also engineering your device to have a better photo response compared to other participants. So, that technology will give you lots of opportunity. You can make the device faster, slower, or ultra fast by combining this, like for example, gold level or gold material. You can combine it with security. So now see, this is a hybrid system. Full narrow, only dimensional materials, and have theory and graphic. So you can play with the materials, you can make the different devices with different infrastructure and different application. So I think that's all for I think it's already just 1 hour. So maybe student can be like moving. So I think I can stop here and then I can take the questions. Comment.
any questions from the students, from the participants?
Yeah, you can ask in Hindi also. Not a problem.
You can ask in Hindi also. Don't worry.
या हिंदी also you can पूछ सकते हैं कुछ भी जो पूछना हो कि कैसे क्या कोई डिवाइस काम करता है कैसे मॉनिटर स्पेस आए ओके
No one.
Hello.
Yeah, Dr. Shah, please.
Thank you, Dr. Mukesh. Yeah, myself, Dr. Adit from Eastern Professor PTM Meralipur. Okay, hi. Yeah. I'm happy to see all this work because this all work are related to my work on during my PhD. Okay, very nice. Yeah. The one thing I have seen, the graphene, graphene has zero band gap. Right. And if it has zero band gap, surely it will absorb all the lights. Right. Yeah. Then, is there any work we have tried to introduce a band gap in the graphene? Yes. That's what I think. I don't have time, but yeah, of course I will show you. So one thing, just. Yeah. So yeah, that's a very nice question. Very nice. Yeah. So basically, yeah, you can create the band gap, but the problem is when you create the band gap, mobility, it decreases a lot. Okay, and it's less than silicon. Although it's absorbed still all kind of light, but problem with mobility. But even though still we have solution. So recently, we came with this idea, fluorinated bilayer graph. Okay, so the bottom layer is fluorinated and top layer is non-fluorinated. So yeah, so now we have a band gap, and also you have a higher mobility. So recently, a few years back, we published this article. So maybe I can share with you. Yeah, it's possible to create the band gap by maintaining the mobility. Yes, it's possible. Okay. Yeah. Why I'm asking this question is that because every work is for this commercialization, right? Exactly. Right. Yeah, and anyhow we have to replace the silicon because the silicon cost is very high. Right. If this graphene work, then it will be very beneficial for entire world. I think, if I'm not wrong. No, for example, I will show you. So, okay, yeah. So if you see, so now I'm like the device based on this fluorinated bilayer graphene. Even though after 1 year, you will see they have the similar photo response. Yeah. So now I'm monitoring the stability, and we observe more than a year. We have still the stable fluorinated graphene, and only why? Because If you have only fluorinated graphene, no bilayer structure, you will not see fluorine. The fluorine will not be stable on the graphene cell. But when we have the heterostructure, clearly you can see after a year, still fluorine is there. So one of the key things we observe. So yeah, it's possible. That's what we are working. And also the device, it can work up to 200 degrees Celsius. I don't have data here. Yeah, you see, up to 150 degrees Celsius, similar power response. 200 degrees. Yeah. So yeah, that's what recently we are going to submit this work. So up to 200 degrees Celsius, we saw photo response clearly. We see the silicon, of course, after 100 it will very bad response. So this is one of the key observation, and this work we have done we are working on since past 5 years. So this is one of the key achievement I can say. Really, I like to congratulate you on this work. And also I can see here that the current is a bit less, like in microamp. Yeah, in the micro, but this is the photo current, yeah. So in the photo current, yeah, but responsibility very high. If you see the responsibility, it's the 10 power 4 order, 4 and 5 order. Yeah, device responsibility very high. And one more question I have actually, and because I have seen my senior working on MOS2. Yeah, MOS2 is one of the very great 2D material. Okay. But I've seen them struggling on their stability. Yes. MOS2 compounds have excellent electrical property, but when it comes to stability, it doesn't last more. So they fail to